Hi, this is Chad with Spearhead. Thanks for joining me. Today I am going to talk about the marketing term. The term, when someone says marketing, what's the first thing most people start to think of? And the first thing I think most people start to think of is advertising. They think, okay, well, I'm going to run an ad, and I'm going to put an ad in a newspaper, put it in a magazine, or they might even think of it as going to a trade show. Something of that nature, or maybe even sending out an e-blast or something like that, and they kind of consider that advertising. The interesting thing about that process, in fact, I just had it today with a client. I showed up at a meeting and wanted to update a web page even, and right away it was a lot of ideas about what he wanted to say, but very unclear about what he wanted the target person to do. And all of a sudden we're in this position where, as an advertising agency or as the person selling the ads, they're right away talking about, okay, we've got these great ideas for what we want to put on it, but what's the call to action, or the CTA, if you might have heard that. And so in my mind, that's always been a little perplexing. I always thought that was a little backwards. And so I'm going to just give you a different way to think about this idea of marketing and advertising. First of all, when it comes to marketing, I'm looking at marketing as the system, okay? It's an integrated sales and marketing system. So there's marketing activities, contact management, creating offers, things that are relevant to people, that might help them along their journey. Of course, your website would be part of that. And then when I think about advertising, I like to use the word promotion. Because when I think about promotion, the first thing I need to think about is the audience, right? So if I'm going to promote something, it immediately sort of begs the question, well, who am I going to promote to? And you might be promoting to existing contacts, right? These are people that could already be in your database. They could be leads. They could be existing clients. They could be clients that you might even consider to be advocates or referral sources. Nothing's to say that you couldn't run a promotion towards some of your longest running, best clients in order to get them to try a new product or a new service, in order to invite them to an event where they might advocate for you, kind of spread the good word about how well you've done for them with new people. So who is your audience that you're going after? Then, of course, you might be thinking about the new contacts, and that's quite often what people think about when they think about advertising. They're thinking about, wow, I want it to bring in a whole bunch of new business. But again, I caution you on that because you might go to a trade show, and in that instance, you're trying to appeal to, of course, a bunch of new people, but there might also be a lot of existing or old relationships there as well, people you're currently doing business with, or people that maybe you used to do business with. So immediately think about audience. And the reason I like that so much is because it helps me connect the promotion to a very specific offer. That offer could be towards a long-term client, offering them an opportunity to trade in some equipment for some new equipment. It might be towards a brand new client, maybe an engineer that you're trying to get a great first impression with. You want to offer them a technical resource, maybe an ROI tool or a case study, something that might make a great first impression for you. And what a lot of times in the advertising world or marketing world, people will call this direct response marketing. And what they mean by that is, if you're going to run an ad in a magazine, they might ask you, is the goal of this ad to raise brand awareness? Is it a brand recognition sort of experience that you're looking for? Is that your goal, or are you looking for a direct response? My approach, and not everyone may agree with this, but my opinion is that if you shoot for a direct response, and in your advertisement you have a nice offer, very well thought out, targeting a specific group of people, they may or may not grab onto that day, but certainly that will leave an impression. So let's say, for example, you're offering an ROI calculator. In our case, we offer a marketing ROI calculator. It's a very well thought out, very simple but meaty tool. And whether somebody actually comes and uses that calculator or not, by me offering it, certainly says something about how I'm approaching marketing and what I might be able to do for them in the future. So I'm going to think about people first, then I'm going to think about what I can offer them, right? Following our system over here, contacts, offers. Now we're down to this promotional thing, and that leads me to the third sort of really important piece to promotion, in my opinion, which is being able to track performance, right? So we use software that allows us to put tracked code in digital ads. So we know if somebody came from the internet in through our website, and we can go into our promotional bucket and find out, hey, we put that tracked link on a specific banner ad, and that's what drove them to our website, and they ended up in our database. We'll know that, okay? We're going to know which e-blast performed the best. Not just open rates, not even just click-through rates, but we have technology that allows us to determine which e-blast brought contacts into our database that then revisited our website, actively continued to stay engaged with our content, which is a very unusual tracking system, but very effective because it's telling us, you know, these types of promotions that you're doing are working really well when people are engaging at a very deep level. The point of tracking then, of course, is to help you establish where you're going to target your budget. So as you're designing this system, this marketing system, you've involved your salespeople, you know who you're going after, you've got a sense for what you want to offer them, you've built your website, you've promoted, you've put those offers on your website, you're driving traffic through your promotions to your web pages. Now you're into the test and measure phase, okay? You're into, I'm not quite sure what promotional channel is going to bring me the best results, the most efficiently, but I'm going to figure that out by testing, by measuring, and then adjusting as I go along. And as I do that, I'm going to figure out there's a percentage of the things that I know produce really well. So you might find out that paid e-blasts do really well. Your own direct e-blasts do really well. You might find out that this particular trade show or magazine spot does really well for you. I would encourage you as you do your budget the following year to try to identify those things that are doing really well for you and put your money back into about 75% those things and then 25% new things, because especially in our technology-ridden age right now, there's a lot of new promotional channels going on out there, new ways of reaching people that you got to stay on top of, and you got to figure out before it's too late if they're going to work for you. So you want to leave yourself some budget to test and measure new things as well. So that's going to wrap it up for promotion. Just in summary, rather than put yourself in a position where you've chosen where you want to run your ad and kind of what you want to have in it, and then all of a sudden you say to yourself, wow, what do I want these people to do? I want you to flip that over. I want you to think about who are you trying to attract? What can you offer them that they would be really happy to see and hear from you, that they would go get? And then be able to track the performance of those promotions. And if you do that, you're going to round out this marketing gear and you're going to dovetail right back into sales, and you're going to give your salespeople an opportunity to follow up on these contacts that came in through your promotional channels that are most engaged with your content. That's all for today. Thank you.